Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
Religious liberty is under attack like never before. There's some victories and there's also some concern. Hi, I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, I think that there is more threats to religious liberty that we're seeing today than in recent time because of a lot of different reasons, particularly under this administration advancing some hostile policies and agendas that collide with religious freedom. But I also think it's just where the culture is as well. In general. Good news is we've got some good news on a valedictorian that ultimately where the school apologized, and some, on the other hand, the professor down in Florida that had the Stomp Jesus assignment has been reinstated by the school. We're going to talk about both of these.
Yeah, in Texas, Todd Starnes with Fox News is reporting that a Texas school district has apologized to a high school valedictorian whose appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy was threatened after he delivered a speech that referenced God and the U.S. Constitution in defiance of unconstitutional district policies. His microphone, Matt, was shut off, and his father was told the day after this young man said that he thanked God for, this is Remington Reamer is the young man's name, thanked God for, quote, giving up his only son for us to an excruciating death on a cross so his blood would cover all our shortcomings and provide for us a way to heaven in accepting his grace. Wonderful statement. His microphone was shut off. His dad was told he was going to be punished.
Yeah, the next day they met with the principal, Mike Cochran, met with Reamer's father, and informed him that he intended to punish Remington for his perceived misdeed. And this could have been devastating because this young man, obviously he's a valedictorian, so he's number one in the class. He's got the highest academic achievement of all of his peers, which is quite an accomplishment. And he had an appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy, which is a very hard appointment to be able to receive. Not everyone is able to get appointments to the U.S. Naval Academy. If he had been disciplined after he had already earned all of his high school degrees and his credits, his appointment to the Naval Academy could have been revoked. They're not going to accept somebody who's got a disciplinary or a behavior problem. And this threatened his ultimate career. The good news is that the school has now backed down, and they have issued an apology for their actions.
You know, this is just indicative of this culture of hostility that we see from the left, particularly against religious freedom and free expression. And, you know, who's at the helm? Who is taking the lead in this culture of hostility toward religion right now, and particularly Christianity? It's Barack Obama. You know, he was recently overseas attacking Catholic and other and Protestant, you know, education, saying that it's divisive. And I mean, he's, you know, in his second term here, he's just taken off the gloves, and people unfortunately are taking that as a signal, taking the lead, and are emboldened by this president, I think in large part his actions.
Yeah, he's going overseas saying that schools such as Protestant Catholic schools, they teach people to be divisive. So I guess he's thinking that the public schools don't teach people to be divisive. Yeah. Well, speaking of public schools, we're going to talk about one in just a minute. The superintendent here of this school district in Texas actually the Joshua Independent School District issued a statement apologizing for this incident, taking the opportunity to apologize to Mr. Todd Reamer and Remington Reamer for any interpretation of a threat by Mr. Cochran, the principal, and expressing his displeasure at a meeting on Friday morning between Mr. Todd Reamer and Mr. Cochran following Remington Reamer's valedictory address. So that has been resolved. The good news is that it's resolved. The bad news is that they had the audacity to threaten this in the first place. This is a young man who earned that position, has the right to be able to express his or her view on different topics that, frankly, the majority of the people in that graduation arena would agree with, and was threatened now because of his statement about Jesus Christ. Now, speaking of the public schools that Obama is so much apparently in favor of, because he thinks Protestant and Catholic schools teach division, we got division down here in the Florida Atlantic University with this professor that had an assignment requiring people to stomp on Jesus. Absolutely unbelievable that the professor would have such an assignment.
Yeah, he had them write the word Jesus, put it down. People may recall this was a month and a half or so back, and stomp on it to overcome, trying to illustrate that we have certain norms and mores in society that people, and he's trying to help people cut through those norms and mores in society and stomp on Jesus. Well, one student said, "I'm not going to do that." The student was disciplined, received a poor grade. Ultimately, when enough of a stink was made about it, the school started backing off a little bit, but now he's back, and because I guess that's academic freedom. And of course, if it's a conservative or a Christian talking about Jesus from the podium or from behind the podium in a classroom, then that's intolerance, and that's the separation of church and state has to come into play at that point. But if it's stomp on Jesus, if it's a negative attack toward Christianity, why, that's academic freedom.
Yeah, they say now here apparently what happened is they did remove him temporarily, and now they say that he is being placed on leave not because of the problem, but because of his, quote, personal safety. But now they've brought him back to teach online courses for the time being, they say due to security concerns. And they say the controversial course will no longer be taught. They released a statement that the decision was made after careful thought, due diligence, and input from students, faculty, and administration. So good news is the course won't be taught. The bad news is that he's back and he hasn't had any punishment other than the fact, I guess, he's going to be teaching online courses. So he's not going to be in the classroom right away. And they say on the one hand, they've upheld his job and they've also upheld academic freedom. You know, the fact of the matter is we have people like this in the public school. If they were to do this with Islam and Muhammad, there would be a complete outrage over this. But to do this with Jesus and to put him on the ground and have people stomp on him, what possible pedagogical outcome is this professor looking for other than just absolute hostility to Christianity?
And then to attack a student and threaten a student who refuses to do this because it violates his conscience and his sincerely held religious beliefs. Isn't that just like the left, though, Matt, to do something as ridiculous and offensive as this, then to attack a student for refusing to violate his conscience, and then to play the victim, the role of the victim, to turn around and say that he was put on an academic leave based on concerns for his safety nonsense, rather than because he was a jerk.
Well, and this individual, Professor Poole, he serves as the vice chair of the Palm Beach County Democratic Party. So imagine if he were at the convention in 2012, he would have probably been one of those that was voting or booing when God got added back forced back into, not because there was a 50% plus one vote, but actually forced back into the Democratic platform. Now, the person that was at issue here was a Mormon, Ryan Rotella, was in the classroom, refused to obey the instructor's direction. When he complained, Rotella was banned from the classroom, charged with violating the student code of conduct, because this individual, for religious reasons, just said, this is intolerable. I'm not going to do this. And so this student now is ultimately targeted for retaliatory action.
And Deandra Poole, the teacher, is the victim here. It boggles the mind, man.
Well, Governor Rick Scott of Florida said that he ultimately instituted an investigation of the classroom assignment, saying that he was deeply disappointed with regards to this situation, how it developed. Give us a call at Liberty Counsel. Liberty Counsel is an international organization advancing religious freedom, the sanctity of human life, and the family through litigation, education, and through public policy. Call us at 1-800-671-1776 if you know of issues regarding family, faith, or freedom that are taking place in your community, or when you find them on the internet, let us know. If we don't know, we can't get involved. If we don't get involved, then obviously we can't win those kinds of cases. Liberty Counsel has a very high successful win rate when we do get involved. So call us on our toll-free number. Visit us at lc.org. Remember, Liberty Counsel, with your resources and your prayers, lc.org is the website to visit.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.